Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana finds himself under intense scrutiny and criticism for his failure to effectively deliver the budget speech, leading to concerns about him being competent and the government's economic direction. In today's video, the focus is on the minister who put himself in the hot seat.
Molini, and welcome to yet another episode of Conversations with Lankosi. Now, this is the news commentary section where we will be offering insightful commentary and exploring various perspectives on the stories that shape our world.
Let's set the stage. The budget speech is like the annual report card for the country's economy. It is a crucial moment where our government outlines its spending priorities, revenue forecasts, and broader economic strategies. But this time around, the anticipated moment fell flat. Now, why did it happen? Let us get into this article. All eyes was set to be on Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana on Wednesday when he was expected to deliver the budget speech in Parliament, but the speech has been postponed to March. This would have been his first budget speech under the Government of National Unity. Most economists predicted the Treasury would increase some taxes, saying the economy can best be described as facing the perfect storm, with high levels of unemployment and low levels of economic growth. Guys, the link to this article will be in the description box below. When a finance minister fails to deliver a budget speech, it signals issues, with governance and economic planning in a country, including, It also highlights the fact that the minister is out of touch with reality. I must agree with the inside factor on this one. The minister has also faced controversy, raising questions about the true intentions of the GNU, which seems to be struggling since its inception. This situation does not paint a pretty picture for Kongi, known as the ANC, especially since the minister is their deployee. Does this then imply that they too are also disconnected from reality? The budget speech is crucial for establishing fiscal policy and obviously assuring both investors and us members of the public sisahamba kahle guys nayi futhi line of march. Now, the absence of this budget speech raises doubts about the government's stability and capability to manage our economy, and the timing of yonke lento is troubling given the economic challenges that South Africa is currently facing, from high unemployment rates to the rising inflation. Now, if the rumors about a proposed 2% increase causing this failure are true, then the country may be in for a very difficult period, as instability in governance appears to be on the rise. How has the political landscape responded to this failure? Well, the response has been intense. We have opposition parties that, have come out to criticize the government, labeling this incident as a significant blunder. For more context, let us get into this article. Economic Freedom Fighters leader Julius Malema said the postponement of the 2025 budget speech rendered Parliament useless, arguing that there is no authority for its postponement, as the budget must be tabled so that it can be debated and ultimately adopted. Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana was due to table his first budget under the Government of National Unity on Wednesday, but the Speaker of Parliament, Togo Didiza, was forced to postpone it after Cabinet failed to agree on a 2 percentage point value-added tax hike included in the budget. The budget will now now be tabled on March 12. Didiza said the postponement was an unforeseen and unavoidable situation, noting that the postponement was unprecedented. We must all know that this is unprecedented, and this is not a practice that we want to set for this parliament. It is going to be your legacy, Speaker, that during your tenure, Parliament could not debate and adopt budget. We are saying you are denying this body an opportunity to receive budget debate, it accepted or rejected, said Malema. He accused Didiza of subjecting South Africa's budget to party politics. Let the budget be presented here and let Parliament decide that this is the decision we are taking as Parliament. You can't come here confidently and say, parties, the executives have not agreed, he said. He stated that there was no government, it had collapsed, and that it had no capacity to present a budget. Today, we have witnessed a government of national unity, the grand coalition of DA and ANC collapsing in front of South Africa, something that we said to all of you that it will not last. We will never agree to an increase of 2% on VAT from 15 to 17%, and that is why they are scared to come here, because it will be rejected, Malema noted. Meanwhile, the Democratic Alliance said it unequivocally rejected the ANC's VAT hike plan. The postponement of the Minister of Finance's 2025-2026 national budget speech today is a victory for the people of South Africa, as it prevents the implementation of a 2% VAT increase that would have broken the back of our economy, said DA leader John Steenhuisen. He claimed that the last-minute postponement came about because of the so-called failure by the ANC and specifically Godongwana to engage meaningfully with the alternative proposals tabled by the DA. Following our defeat of the ANC's plan to hike VAT, we will now fight with the same vigor to introduce a new budget that is anchored in growing the economy rather than increasing taxes or debt, Steenhuisen said. The party pointed out that if the VAT hike was included in the budget, it was prepared to vote it down in Parliament. Steenhuisen highlighted that the postponement demonstrated the DA's muscle within the GNU, stating that for the first time ever, the ANC was prevented from tabling an anti-growth budget. Now is the time to replace the failed ANC VAT budget with a brand new GNU growth budget, he said. City of Cape Town Mayor Jordan Hill-Lewis said on X that the ANC had learned an essential lesson in a coalition government, stating that DA was clear that it would not support VAT increases as it hurt the poor. Umkhonto weSizwe Party MP Jimmy Manye said the postponement was an indication of the crisis that the country was facing. This country has got no leadership. This is what we're facing. If we say we have democracy, let democracy come and exercise itself here. This is the theater of politics. Let the Minister of Finance come and say whatever that he wanted to say. We do not want to hear rumors. We hear very disturbing rumors that the VAT would have been increased by 2%. Rumors that the ANC-led government wanted to impoverish our people, noted Manye. Action SA parliamentary leader Ethel Trollip expressed concern at the GNU's failure to table a budget, saying the government had let South Africans down and was more focused on backroom politics. The ANC continues as if it still holds a majority, while the government of national disunity partners may have pushed back today and seek to claim a false victory. There are no winners, only losers, and the biggest among them are the people of South Africa, he said. Guys, the link to this article will be in the description box below. With that being said, I agree with the voices of the opposition. Trust in government, guys, is already tenuous, and this situation just makes it worse. We're worried about our economic future, and we obviously look to our leaders for guidance. Now, when that guidance is absent, it creates a vacuum of fear and speculation. Hey, without digressing, let us get into this next article that exposed the disconnect among our officials. Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana seemed to have been angered by SARS Commissioner Edward Kieswetter's comments on a proposed tax increase by National Treasury. This emerged at the end of a briefing by Minister in the Presidency Khumbudzo Njaveni Godongwana and National Treasury Director General Duncan Peters on Wednesday on the postponement of the tabling of the budget. A few weeks ago, Kieswetter told an Alan Gray seminar that the country must not be tempted into thinking that increasing tax rates automatically leads to bigger tax revenues. Kieswetter, according to a Business Day article, said tax estimated at 800 billion rand remained uncollected annually from individuals and companies, providing an opportunity to collect more taxes already due to the state instead of hiking taxes. A question was asked at the briefing about Kieswetter's comments about his opposition to tax hikes. Godongwana's answer was unclear at the end of the briefing. Microphones caught a conversation between the ministers and Peters discussing a question posed about Kieswetter. Peters was heard telling Godongwana, "I'm glad you took the question about the commissioner. You answered it much better than I would have." Godongwana replied, "Oh no, I was a bit worried. He's making me angry. Even here he comes up with this rubbish." I said, "How would it help me on the 19th, even now on the 12th? He did not know that we've made provision for 3.5 in the new arrangement, but that 3.5 now is gone." Godongwana seemed to be referring to the amount the Treasury had planned to allocate to SARS before the postponement of the tabling of the budget. According to the planned speech by Godongwana, the Treasury was committed to strengthening the country's revenue services and had planned to allocate 3.5 billion to SARS over the medium term to modernize ICT systems to enhance revenue collection and improve tax compliance. Now, guys, the link to this article will also be in the description box below. Now, the private exchange between Finance Minister and the SARS Commissioner, Edward Kieswetter, where Godongwana's frustration was exposed, highlights underlying tensions within the realm of financial governance, shedding light on issues of transparency, accountability, and effective communication. It also paints a not so pretty picture of how, the minister is not comfortable, with being redirected to take a different route by other people. And that's toxic. If you ask me, it's a very toxic trait. Also, this incident underscores the complexities and challenges faced in, the collaboration between key figures in financial management, potentially impacting policy making and strategic decisions. And I also wanted to also just, highlight how Kieswetter makes more sense compared to our own minister, because if he has a plan for reclaiming that 800 billion, then we might as well work towards ensuring that that happens instead of an increase that we're not sure is going to serve its purpose. And for a whole Njaveni to ask Uguti uhamba nini is a red flag on its own, because it paints an ugly picture about how things are done in this country under Kongi and this GNU. It raises questions about the effectiveness of internal communication mechanisms within governmental institutions, warranting a closer examination of organizational dynamics and power structures. And it makes me understand what Julius was saying, the leader of the EFF, when he stated that, they're treating this like it's a political party situationship, and it isn't. This is a serious issue. This is something that's serious, So the public exposure of Godongwana's frustrations with Kieswetter highlights the importance of professionalism and mutual respect in high stakes, when it comes to, our financial environments. And honestly speaking, I am glad that that mic was on, because it exposed the rot within, further eroding our trust as the public in our government and the minister himself, including the lady who put a hat on his head, who seemingly put himself in the hot seat due to his inability to lead or fulfill his role.
With that being said, I think singavumelana nje ukuba it's critical that the government communicates clearly moving forward. They will need to provide interim updates on fiscal policies and see to it that they deliver on the designated new date for the budget speech. With regards to the minister, I doubt anyone has faith in him or that he could save himself from being in the hot seat he put himself in, including the idea that, the GNU is the solution to our problems as a country, because they themselves are far from being united. Transparency is essential at this juncture to rebuild trust. If not handled properly, this could lead to significant long-term economic implications. Guys, the links to these articles will definitely be in the description box below. Please do drop a comment where you guys also just express your view with regards to this, because it also seems like certain members of the GNU are also having a field day, with this thing, parading themselves as the messiahs, whereas they too are part of the GNU. But then again, like I said, please do drop your comment below so I know where our heads are at this point.
That marks the end of today's video. Thank you so much for lending your eyes and ears. I hope that you found today's video informative. Please do not forget to click on that subscription button or light the notification bell so that you do not miss out on any new uploads. Enkosini.